Today I want to share some attitudes that I've worked with that have enabled me to keep an open mind towards people who hold opposing views than I do, but also that have enabled me to learn how to keep an open mind towards my own ways of thinking and doing things that may be different from other people, because my whole life I'm familiar with discounting my own views and attitudes and ways of doing things. So this BBC, my aim is to not talk about exaggerating, not talk about the arrogance of inflated pride or exaggerated pride, but to maybe help people like myself who maybe have low self-esteem to get more towards the middle and get to a more realistic attitude towards the self. And this quality of open-mindedness and broad-mindedness, I really value in my life. I've recognized that over the years that I've lived here, this is something that I kind of imbue my visualizations with. When I visualize the Buddha in front of me, this is a quality that I try to imagine him having and radiating. And I'm just very drawn to it, especially in this day and age when I think, having this kind of mind is so important. But it has helped me to get a sense of like what it feels like in the mind, what it feels like in the heart, what it feels like, in the body, tangibly. And I've also met people throughout my life who seem to have this quality of open-mindedness, and I'm really grateful that I met those people because I felt it was just very refreshing to be in their presence, and I felt very comfortable and at ease. So that really made a mark on me, and I consider that a gift. So this is kind of an attitude that I aspire to have in my own life. But I've realized through living here that I don't actually have a very open-minded attitude towards myself, towards my own ways of thinking and doing things. And that's actually been quite harmful, and I actually have been working to change that. So one way I've been doing that is during interactions I've had with people, if it seems like we are disagreeing and there's some opposition, normally I'll tell myself the story of, oh, I'm wrong, like I'm inherently wrong. They think they're right. It seems like they think they're right. I must be wrong. But instead of doing that lately, I've been telling myself, well, maybe I'm not inherently wrong. Like maybe we're just different. Maybe we just have different thoughts about this, and like maybe that's okay. Maybe that's not a problem. It's not as if this person is inherently better or inherently smarter or, inherently wiser or whatever. It's just that we have different minds, and that's not a problem. That's reality, that's life. And I've been trying to give myself some, anyway, I've been trying to give myself some credit for the ways that I think and act that are virtuous and beneficial. Because sometimes I think maybe there are a trillion sentient beings out there who act and think in one way, and that way is not similar to my way, and maybe it would be more difficult to benefit them because they don't resonate with the way I think and act. But on the flip side, there's also like a trillion other sentient beings who probably do think and act similarly to myself, and I could benefit them. They would resonate with what I say and do. So that helps me to get out of this kind of self-preoccupied state of mind that thinks, oh, I'm the worst of the worst, I'm this weird, unique, different anomaly, and it's just me, when it's like, no, there's many other people who think similarly and act similarly, and it works for them, and it's okay. And yeah, I guess having this broad view is really helpful for me. And another way I think about it is that, again, there's seemingly infinite sentient beings out there with and seemingly infinite variety of karma that they've created. They all have had different backgrounds, different life experiences, different conditioning. And yeah, it makes total sense that they would act in different ways. And I'm one of them, So that's totally fine. That's acceptable. And another thing that sometimes I remind myself about is that this idea that I'm inherently wrong or inherently bad because, somebody disagrees with me. I realize that's a very narrow, small mind. It's a really, small mind, because if I really think that the way that I do and think is totally wrong, that discounts billions of other sentient beings who think that way too. And that means I'm discounting billions of others. And that's not correct. That's narrow-minded. And so when I offer this open-mindedness and acceptance towards myself, towards my own way of doing things and thinking, it's much easier to offer this acceptance and tolerance of others who hold opposing views, because I think, oh yeah, just as I can have my own unique expression, so can other sentient beings. Like that's totally fine. And I mean, yeah, there's practices we can do to better understand people of opposing views, exchanging self and others. Like if we knew their background, their conditioning, their life experience, then yeah, it could make sense to us why they think the way they do, why they act the way they do. And it could become, I don't know if acceptable is the term, but it makes sense, and that could help us develop compassion. But we can also do that with ourselves. We can trace back into our life, look at our history, our conditioning, our background, all the things that have shaped us now and have shaped our current views. And we can say, oh, I understand why I think that way. I understand why I do the things I do, and have compassion and tolerance for ourselves.